Hello everyone, my name is Linda Dolkey and I'm a demonstrator with Stampin' Up! Here in Australia, and tonight is our Friday night live video that we do every Friday night, and it is always a sketch that we follow on a Friday night. So this is a bit of fun. I never know how it's going to turn out, although I do know what I'm using tonight and I have a couple of ideas how it might turn out, but let's have a play and see how we go. And hello everyone. So I see we have a good crowd here already. Says I have 15 people here so far. That's awesome for getting started. Hey, Marilyn and Monique, how are you girls? Hi, Margaret. Susie was here early, and so was Roz. Hello, Roz. How are you? I'm just having a bit of a look through all the comments, and I know I am going to miss so many comments and so many people, and my apologies for that. I will get started. I see we have Denise and Kerry here. Siobhan, hi. Leslie's here. Nicole's here. And I know I've forgotten people. Glenda and Barbara. Oh, my goodness. Okay. I need to get going because you know how it is. I may have to actually leave. My husband's work Christmas party is tonight. And we did have a discussion where he said he should be fine to drive home. But on the off chance, I sort of need to be done in time just in case I have to go pick him up. But I think he'll be fine. But you know how that is. I play taxi when needed. All right. Hey, Jolene, how are you? And Sheila's here too. Hello, hello. All right, let's switch over to the desk and make a start and have a look at what we're playing with tonight. I'm just going to straighten that up a little bit and turn my lamp on so that we get a bit of a better light on the subject. And then we're going to turn to page 14 because that's where the sketches are in this catalogue. You'll see them down the bottom of page 14 here. And we've worked all the way through the first row and most of the second. We're now up to the very second last one on this bottom row. And this one, actually, it's interesting. I should have brought it over. Give me 1 second. I'm going to fetch it from the other side of the room. This one is actually, there's a scrapbook. There's a scrapbooking workshop kit that actually uses this particular design. Oh, do I even know where I put that? I don't know that I do. It was with the Peaceful Days scrapbooking kit, the one that matches the Peaceful Garden papers. And then maybe I moved that. Let me have a quick look. Oh, hang on. I may know where it is. Oh my goodness. I've got so much stuff over Christmas and New Year. My plan is to do a big old cleanup of my scrapbooking and particularly my scrapbooking stuff because all my photos are a bit of a mess. Anybody else's photos get out of whack? I just don't know where anything is. So that's what I'm hoping to do over the Christmas and New Year period is maybe do a little bit of cleaning up in that department. So it's this kit that I'm looking for, this one, made with these beautiful papers. And you can actually see this is from a trip. My husband and I got to go to London before a Stampin' Up! Trip, and that's the only time I've ever been. But it was a lot of fun, and this is sitting down on the last night before we left to come home. And we had an Italian meal. You can see the size of the calzone. It's the biggest one I've ever seen in my life. And we ate very well. There was a little pork pie here, which is something that we don't really do here in Australia, but it's very much a British thing. So there we go. Your whole craft room needs a sort out. I know, mine too. And I'm hoping I've got a bunch of things that I've got to catch up on over the quieter time between like Christmas and the second week of January. That's my time to catch up on stuff. So that is the plan. But anyway, this design is from the scrapbooking kit that goes with that set that I just showed you. Okay. And you can see there are three squares and a circle that kind of takes the place of one of the squares. And then it's got a diagonal, can you see it? A diagonal line going from one corner to the other. All right. And I thought, well, we can probably make this work with cards. And, we've been doing these ones. We did these three as cards. Instead of scrapbook layouts, we make cards with them. And then this one, I did a card like this not that long ago, but we'll give that another shot probably next week. But I thought I'd do this one. And I have a surprise for you guys tonight. In case you didn't hear me talking about it earlier, this is what we're going to be using tonight. This is the product of the month, guys. And I'm excited to show you. You're watching on the big screen, Janine. Well, that's awesome. Oh, I hope you're recovering well. So you've had shoulder surgery. That's no good. I'll tell you what, I never really thought too much about how important shoulders are. And you can't do much when your shoulder's not working properly. My dad had really bad shoulders, really bad, to the point that at the end he couldn't push himself up at all. He had no strength in his shoulders, and it's just awful. So I hope yours fixes up really fast and you get back to normal soon, because you need those things. Those shoulders are important. Yay, Maureen, you said yippee. I'm assuming that's about this beautiful paper. So this is the product of the month. It is a paper pack, 12 sheets of designer series paper, or DSP. Some people call it double-sided patterned paper. There's all sorts of names for it, but we usually call it DSP. And the colors in this are very simple. It is balmy blue, night of navy, and it doesn't say so, but white. Those three colors, all right, if you count white as a color. And how nice do these look? Let's have a quick look through them. There's 2 sheets of each design and then a different design on the back. Okay, and you can mix and match the designs. They're absolutely beautiful. So you saw me just open my pack. This is my first time going through it. I've seen the pictures of it, but this is the first time I've seen the paper up close. So yeah, we do hope you get better soon, Janine. Absolutely. Thanks, Roz, for saying that. All right. So then we've got this beautiful balmy blue. It's got the white patterns and the navy leaves. Super nice. And on the back of that, a white background with like little, they almost look like fer-de-lis kind of designs almost. Not quite. Little emblems, I guess we call them. This one, which is the night of navy background, and it has balmy blue leafy designs. Can you see that close? It's nice, isn't it? Yes, we can only get one product of the month. That is correct. No, only one. Unless she's got 2 accounts, or maybe she's got a special setup, but no, you can only get one. I know, because today, and I promise I wasn't trying to get a second set, but I noticed that the progress bar, when you're in your ordering, it actually tells you how close you are to earning the product of the month, because the product of the month can only be bought with a $125 minimum spend. So when you spend $125, the system says you're eligible for product of the month. If you want it, it then costs $9. With $9 is a bargain for this beautiful paper. Okay, it won't be paper every month. Some months it's going to be tools or stamps or other bits and pieces. So we're really looking forward to seeing all the different things they're going to throw at us in the product of the month offerings. Just looking at comments. 6 weeks in a sling. Oh, no, you'll just have to watch and live vicariously through the rest of us who are crafting. And then when you're done, you'll be ready to craft. That's what you'll have to do, right? On the back of this one, balmy blue and the night of navy little leaves. Aren't these pretty? I've got a couple of favorites already. I love this one. Look at the balmy blue with the white flowers. That's beautiful. I mean, simple, just a couple of colors. Got the stripes and flower emblems on the back. And then here we have the white with, actually, is that white? No, it's actually a very light balmy blue. And then you've got balmy blue little flowers and night of navy leaves on that one. It's really pretty. I'm just looking at the comments. Who's arguing? Are you arguing, Leslie? But, that's why I nearly finished telling you. I decided just to test it to see if I could get a second pack. I didn't think I could, but I decided to test the theory, because even though I'd already got my product of the month, it still counted towards the $125 to tell me I was eligible. I'm thinking, well, that's interesting, because I've already got mine. So when it got to the $125, I said to myself, let's just see if it'll let me add it to my cart. And it didn't. It says, sorry, you can only have one product of the month. And so you're not able to get a second one, basically. it apologized. It was very kind. It was very nice. It told me I was eligible. The amount I'd spent was the right amount, but it told me that I couldn't order a second one. So definitely not arguing. Right. Good then. Okay. But maybe they got it from somebody else who didn't want it or something like that. Maybe they got a second one some other way. But I know I tried just to see if it could be done, and it can't. All right. So the system wouldn't let me do it. All right. So white with these beautiful balmy blue leaf designs on the back of that one. A light. This is the same as the darker one. So those two are the same, but just you got one on Night of Navy and one on balmy blue. They're really nice, aren't they? Well, I have to admit, I did something. I had to decide whether or not it was worth it for me. And I decided, because I have only a couple of opportunities to show off this lovely paper this month, I know Stampin' Up! Have done fantastic marketing, and they have shown, we don't even have to have the product of the month to promote it. Okay. So they've got all the photos and everything for us to use. That's fantastic. But for me, there's nothing quite like getting my hands on it. So I wanted to show you guys. I knew I only have tonight. I only got a couple of Fridays really before it's getting too close to Christmas. So probably this tonight and maybe next Friday. So I decided I wanted to have it. And because my Black Friday sale orders were still sitting in picking, just after midnight on the night that we were able to order the product of the month, I ordered like 5 past midnight. I ordered and chose to pay extra for priority picking. And that way I jumped the queue. I know it's a bit naughty, but that was the only way I could actually have it ready for you guys for tonight. So that's just what I chose to do. But, different people would do different things. She said she'd ordered it. Well, maybe she got in and a glitch or something at the start, and then they fixed it, because you can't order it today when I tried. Okay. So interesting. Jody's here. Hello. You're watching on the big TV, Jody. Well, that's very nice. Yeah, maybe she's got herself set up as a customer. That's a possibility. She might have 2 accounts and maybe use 2 different email addresses. Yeah. No, you're not going mad. Nobody ever said that. All right. So this is the one I'm going to do, but I'm going to do it as a card. So let's start with, I'm going to do a piece of, this is basic white thick card stock, half a sheet of A4. If you're in the US, it would be half a sheet of US letter. Okay. So 8.5 by 5.5 if you're in the US. Here in Australia, it's 21 centimeters across by 14.8 high. Okay, and I've just folded that and burnished it with my bone folder, and I'll just set that to one side for now. All right, so I'm deciding what I want to do here, and I'm thinking I like a lot of white on my pieces. So I'm deciding whether, it's a big choice. Now, this is a square, okay, and my card is going to be rectangular. So I'm thinking if I'm going to have 4, I will keep it as a square, but I'm deciding how it should go. But then I'll have the square at the top 2/3 of the card, and the bottom won't have anything down the bottom there. Am I going to use a circle here? Haven't decided. Maybe not. So I'm going to have a look, turn these over, and see which ones are going to go nicely with what. I really, really like this one. I think that's a go for me. I want to use that one there. Oh, and I didn't look at that one before. That's balmy blue leaves on balmy blue. That's pretty, isn't it? So that could be a maybe. That's a maybe. So that's the back of the next one. I don't want too much. Oh, and this one is the other way. So this is white with balmy blue. This is balmy blue with white. Those are both really nice, but not quite the look I'm going for. And I've got these. That's really nice as well. And then I've got, I'm thinking. All right. And I've also got these ones. So I think these two are too similar. Those two look good together. And I think those two look good together. I'm going to go with these ones. I'm going to keep my colors a bit muted for the background. All right. So I'm moving that out of the way and keeping it handy. I'm going to grab, I've got a piece of Balmy Blue cardstock here, and I'm going to cut this to card front size. So if you're in the US, this would be 4 inches by 5 1/4. If you're here in Australia, it's 10 centimeters by 14.3. So let me just get that the right size. Now this one is going to be 9 1/2. So I'm going to pop it right there at that. So I'm going 1/2 centimeter smaller on each side by 13.8. Actually, I'm wondering, I've just changed my mind. I'm going to go down another 1/2 centimeter. I'm going to go from 10 was the Balmy Blue piece. I'm going down a full centimeter to 9. So, and then I'm going to go 13.8 here. And the other one, which I just had in my hot little hand and put somewhere. Where is it? There it is. Oh, it's underneath here. Oh, yeah. It's going to be one of those nights. 9 centimeters by 13.8. So I'm going down a full centimeter from my original sizing from the Balmy Blue piece. All right, so you can see if I was to put this on here, there's more room around it than there would normally be. Have I done that right? Did I do this right? Yeah, I did. Yep, I did. All right, so what I'm going to do here, I want these ones to be diagonal, and I'm going to put them together. It's a little bit like our stack and shuffle card that we did on Tuesday for Technique Tuesday. And I'm going to have these, and then I'm going to put this one I can use for another card. These two are going to go here, like so. Now there is a fire engine across the road, and at this time of the year, it's usually Santa Claus in the fire engine coming around, but there's no sirens like they normally do, and it's just staying at a house across the road. So I'm wondering if there's actually something's happened. So I don't think it's Santa Claus. I think that's usually a little bit closer to Christmas anyway. All right, I'm going to grab my Tombow, and I'm going to put these onto our piece. But because I've cut it down a full centimeter, it gives me a little bit more room to play with, and I have enough room to put a bit of a gap in the middle. So can you see what I mean? I'm going to be able to put a gap in the middle so that we have like the Balmy Blue showing through in the middle there, which I quite like. Now, if you want them to butt up against each other, don't go down a full centimeter. Only go down 1/2 centimeter, and it'll butt up against each other, and you won't have the gap in the middle. So the gap is optional. I like the gap. What do you guys think? Do you like the gap too? All right, so we've got our base piece, okay, liking that. You're a little bit late, Helen. Never, ever apologize for being late. No, Sheila. So it goes, so the full size is 14.8. So then if I'm going to go down a full centimeter, that goes down to 13.8. Does that make sense? And yeah. It's just a little gives you a little bit more room so you can have that gap in the middle. All right. So let's have a quick look at our sketch. And you can see we've got our diagonal pattern there. Looks really nice. And then I'm thinking we want to have the square here in the middle. Now we've also got these squares on top. If I want to use, and I do, I'm thinking maybe the squares for the from the Stylish Shapes dies, and I do rather like the Stylish Shapes dies for this kind of thing. Then you'll want to pick those or cut those first, okay? Because if you cut the square that they're going to go onto first, then you've got to kind of make the little squares fit on top. And I took my stylish shapes dies. I took them to my class yesterday. And I've just realized that I haven't unpacked everything from my class yesterday, and it's still probably still in that bag. That's all right. We can cut them. But normally I like to use the stylish shapes dies because they've got that lovely stitching around the edges, and I do rather love the stitching. But let's go and cut. Let's try. Well, how wide is this across? This is almost 4 inches across if you're doing inches, or 10 centimeters. Okay. Now, if you were to go to 3, that's just over 7.5 centimeters, 3 inches. So I think that might be a really good size. So I'm going to go just a little bit under 1.5. I'm going to go, what's this? 1 3/8. Let's try that. It's actually easier, I think, sometimes to just cut your squares with. Actually, did I want to use this piece? I don't know that I did, but I will now. What am I doing? I should have looked back through and decided what pattern I wanted to use, but I'm going to use this pattern because that's the one I just cut. And let's see, what other patterns can we use? These all go so beautifully together. I think maybe this one. So I'm going to go 1 3/8 again. And 1 3/8. So they're squares. So we're just making sure both sides are the same. And what other color? What one will we do next? Something I want. I'm picking slightly darker colors. So we could either go with this one, but I'm thinking maybe having a navy piece behind. So maybe not navy. Maybe not navy on navy. But this is nice. This one here, the one that's on the cover. Let's try this one. And let's go 1 3/8. So the patterns, because of the colors being, I think, so harmonious, really they're both true blues. There's not an ounce of yellow or green or anything in these blues. So that means they can be mixed and matched to your heart's content, which is rather nice. All right, so those look really good. And I haven't decided whether I want to have a 4th one or if I just want to go with a circle, because the circle was here. But you could also do 4 squares and then put a circle in the middle. That would also look really good. Ooh, I've had an idea, guys. I've had an idea. Who wants to guess what my idea is? All right, let's see. What have we got? This one, maybe? Let's go 1 3/8 again. And this one. Yes, you girls are right. You know me too well. All right, so those look really good. Let's grab some Night of Navy here. And I've switched between, I know this is silly of me, but I've switched between inches and centimeters. And I do this a little bit when I'm, trying to put a sketch together. So you can go 7.6 centimeters or 3 inches by 3 inches. Okay. So let's see how these look on here. I think they're going to look really good, actually. So there's not a lot of, I could cut them down a little bit more if we want more of a gap. What do we think? Do we want more of a gap? So those look rather nice like that. And let's just see. See, this is going to move on here. Now you could, if you wanted to, do a bigger square. Although I think that probably works quite well, that size. Do we like it? Of course we're going to go with vellum. Of course we are. All right, so I'm liking these and I'm thinking, do I just glue them down or do I use dimensionals? Now, dimensionals, I would definitely use dimensionals underneath the blue, the navy, okay, definitely to pop this up a little bit. You could do dimensionals under these as well. In this case, I'm not going to. I'm just going to put these on with some Tombow and we'll just quickly get those on. And let's see how that looks. And Tombow is pretty quick and easy for doing this sort of thing, and you can kind of wriggle it into place, which is always good. Who is a blue person? Is it just, I don't think I'm alone. Who else here is a blue person? So I'm erring from the sketch a little bit. I'm using 4 squares instead of 3. That would have been nice too, that one there. Actually, that would have been really good because it's got navy and balmy blue on it, but never mind. I mean, if you change your mind and wanted to put a different color, you could put one straight over the top because they're the same size, right? You're a blue person. Me too, Marilyn. Margaret said the same. Solvega said the same. It was so nice to see you the other day, Solvega. That was lovely. All right. So then I think we need to go with our vellum. Now, of course, once again, I wish I knew where my dies were. Let me have a very quick look. Maybe they're here, maybe they're not. I'm sure I took them to class. So I know they're probably in my workshop bag, like down the bottom of the bag or something like that. Or they might be in the big shop bag. Quite likely, actually. But that would look really nice to have a circle with the stitching around the outside. I think that would look lovely. I'm going to put these on dimensionals. And I've got another card for you after this that you're going to really like, I think. And I'm going to use this paper again because I really want to show it to you. Your favorite color is navy, Susan. Ah, I have light blue eyes, so I guess balmy blue is closer to mine. Yours is the navy. That's nice. You're a green person, Gail. I find most green people like blue as well and vice versa. I mean, I like green too. I'm just as happy to wear green outfits as I am to wear blue. I love them both. And you're allowed to like more than one. You don't have to pick. You don't have to, you know, pick a color to the exclusion of all others. You can have more than one option, right? I'm going to put this on my card base and then we'll work on our blue, our sentiment in the middle. And like I said, I'm going to go with vellum, I think, because I have some vellum. Look, I have some right here. Look at that. That's by accident, not by design. Just happened to have some lying around. So the vellum, this vellum that we have, this is a little bit thicker than what we've had in the past, but it's very similar, okay? So you can basically do the same things with it that we could with the old vellum. And I'm thinking that actually looks like it might be about the right size. That's a 2-inch circle, I think. Let me just grab my 2-inch punch. Actually, is it 2 3/8 or is it 2? No, I think it's 2 3/8 because this one's a little bit smaller. This is the 2-inch. So it's going to cover a little bit of that there in the middle. That's okay. You don't wear green, Leslie. You love red, don't you? Yeah, I like lots of different colors too, Wendy. And the day and the mood, exactly. Yeah, of course I have. Exactly, Nicole. All right, so I'm going to put this in the center, and I'm thinking, notice how they've got like a little banner across the middle of their circle. I've got a much smaller circle. That's okay. That's all right. I am going to use a banner, and I'm just thinking, which banner would I like to use? Maybe I will use the Words of Beauty. because that's got these nice little banners and some nice words. So that's actually a really good choice, I think. Who's got this set? I love this. There's the petals of beauty, and then there's the words of beauty. So I wonder if that's going to be, do you think that's going to be too wide, or do you think, actually I don't mind it being wide. I think that looks okay. We can, if we wanted a smaller one, we could have a smaller greeting in the middle. No, I think the longer one looks better. All right, so I think we'll need to use Night of Navy. That makes sense, doesn't it? And let's do it on some basic white card. I'm just going to find some, oh, I've got some basic white card lying around here as well. And here we go. And I'm going to stamp, which greeting will we use? We've got a few long greetings. We've got, it's your birthday, I appreciate you, and you're a great friend. What do you think would look good on our blue card? What do people think? Any votes for a popular choice? Oh, you wore green in primary school. You know what? I'm not a fan of yellow for that reason, because our uniform, when I was the sports uniform, when I was in my last year or so of primary school, I changed schools, and it was, and then high school as well. Oh yeah, high school as well. It was yellow and brown. Ugh, yuck! What a terrible combination. Who came up with that? So it was great friend. You're a great friend. Looks like great friend is a popular. No, actually, I did think about blending in the middle of my vellum circle, and I will if you really want me to. But I didn't. I hadn't made that choice, definitely. So let's get that on our block, and then I'm going to gently tap it into the Night of Navy ink, and then we're going to run that through with our banner die here and cut that out. Great friend, excellent. We picked the right one. You have the whole mega suite. Me too, Leslie. It's just beautiful. I've actually started doing that whenever they release new products. I used to pick a bit of this and pick a bit of that, but lately I've been making the choice to buy sweets. So buying less of things that aren't in the sweets and just buying a couple of sweets, because everything coordinates, and that means Stampin' Up's done all the hard work for us, right? So just running this through my cut and emboss machine. And I've just been getting more mileage out of my sets, I think, because I'm buying sweets. Whereas before I used to just buy, paper from this one and embellishments from that one. And I still might do that on occasion, but it's also, I can't make up my mind, it's easier to just pick a couple of sweets than to go right through the whole catalogue and spend ages trying to pick and choose. So I've just been doing that. I bought 2 sweets out of the new mini that's coming out in January. And then I bought 1 sweet from the online exclusive sets. I've made a card from each sweet. Really love what I've made. And that's always the test, isn't it? That's the test whether or not it's a good catalogue. If the cards you're making, you just makes you, I just fell in love with what I made. I just love them. So I'm very, very happy. You have that sweet and the DSP is in your order. Fantastic, Wendy. All right, so this is going to go right on here. Now, this is the bit where if we wanted to, and Sheila did call it, we could do a little bit of blending in the middle, maybe with some balmy blue maybe, but we don't need to. We don't have to. I'm actually thinking just for the sake of this exercise tonight, I'm not going to, but when I'm actually doing a long strip like this, I get lazy and I just use the edge pieces of my Actually, and I don't want that much. I've got picked up too much. Use the edge pieces of my dimensional sheet and just put it all the way along rather than putting a couple of dimensionals on. And then I'm going to put that here and just make sure that is lined up in the middle. Yeah, it is. That looks good. All right. And then I'm just going to put a couple more underneath because that then is going to go right in the center of my squares. Now, just want to line that up. So I've got the same amount hanging over this edge of the square and this edge of the square. What do you think? Do we like this? I like all the patterns mixed together. I think that looks really cool. I'm very happy with the new mini, Nicole. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I'm sorry. Did I do it wrong, Sheila? Oh, yes. Embossing the squares would have been nice as well. And you can absolutely emboss designer series paper and it looks really, really good. All right. I feel, though, like we need to do something to bling it up a little bit. We need bling. So let me grab. Now, we have lots of choices. Okay. Oh, are these still current? The two-tone sparkle gems, because they've got balmy blue in them and a little bit of fresh of pink, of bubble bath, I think it is. But I don't even know if these are still current. So I'm going to actually look it up very quickly. Sparkle. If you just put in one word from the whatever it is you're using. Are they there? Are they there? Oh, no, they're gone. They're gone. I have some rhinestones. Those are always good. What else do I have? Huh. These are nice from the Earthen, what are these called? These ones go with the Hobby Haven suite. I'm just trying to remember what they're called. If I put in the word hobby, let's see what comes up. They should be in that collection. The Earthy Matte Dots. And if I click on them, it tells me the color. What color are those? Cajun Craze Early Espresso, Lost Lagoon, and Pecan Pie. That to me doesn't look as, I think it looks more blue. I would put those with this paper. I think they look nice. You and your Lost Lagoon. We also have these little white ones, the little white sequins, starburst sequins. These are on the last chance list last time I looked, which are actually really great. And we can, of course, use some silver metallic adhesive back gems. They're not called gems. They're called adhesive. Yeah. I have so many sets, I can't keep up with all the names. That is the problem, is it not? Now, this one, the sparkle gems that are in this set, I think these are meant to be pool party, but to me they look more balmy blue. In fact, those would be really nice with this. Should we use those? What do we think? I'm thinking that those might be good. Jody, do you have an opinion on this? I will ask you because you are the bling queen after all. Oh, iridescent. The Lost Lagoon, says Jody. Thanks, Tanya. And you could, of course, you could add a ribbon or a little bit of twine. That would be nice. That'd be lovely. Why not, says Sheila. I'm tempted to use the sparkle gems. Shall we do it? Is that okay, Jody, if I use the sparkle gems? Because you told me what you thought before I showed you these. So I don't know whether that's okay. I'm just going to open it up. Glenda said to go for it. I'm opening a new pack because I actually used up most of my last pack at my class on Thursday. All right, so I'm going to use oh my goodness, I am still half in half in my craft room and half in yesterday's class. So let's use my take your pick tool. That's better. Now I know where. Oh look, I do have still a few blue ones left from yesterday. I've used nearly all the red ones though, but I could have used those blue ones, couldn't I? Never mind. I'll have to. If I'm going to do any more red, I'd need to open these anyway. So let's grab a big one here. And then maybe a medium. There's small, medium, and large. I love it when they do that. There's a medium one. And a small one. Just like that. And I'm going to call it a finished card. And I think that looks close enough to Balmy Blue that it actually matches really well. Who's napping? I thought about napping today. It was so hot here this afternoon, and this craft room gets really, really hot, especially in the afternoon. So basically, if I don't get work done in the morning, not much happens in the afternoon. So I ended up going out to the dining table where the air conditioning is and writing out some Christmas cards. That's what I ended up doing today. Not what I was supposed to be doing, but hey, still got to be done. So that was good. All right. I am going to... That's our sketch. We kind of did this. Ended up with a card that looked pretty different, but I hope that you can see where we got that design from. And I like how it came together. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is use some more of this lovely paper, and you guys can help me pick which patterns I'm going to use again. And I'm already getting it all chopped up and bits and pieces of it everywhere. I saw a card on the Demonstrator Planning Place, which is a special Facebook group just for demonstrators, and there are so many fantastic ideas there. And I saw a really cute baby card, not made with this, but a really cute baby card made with, designer series paper, and they had used a little rabbit. They'd used the letters B-A-B-Y. Now, I'm sorry, the lady's name was Rachel somebody. I don't remember her other name. It wasn't Rachel Tessman. It was someone else whose name I don't know. But she had used B-A, and then for the second B, she'd used a rabbit and then the Y. Okay, you can still see it says baby, but she used a rabbit instead of one of the B's. And it was kind of cute. I remember reading somewhere that there is some science behind the fact that people, as long as you can see the first letter of a word and the last letter of a word, your brain is usually able to read the word, even if it's spelled incorrectly, because it recognizes the word from the beginning and the end of the word. So something. Oh, good. I did see that message you sent me, Sheila, and I thought I responded. I don't know if you saw my response, but that is so cool. I'm so glad you were able to share that with them. The box was pretty easy, yes? So glad that you were able to do that. So I thought I would do that same kind of idea. And so, of course, it would be if you, I guess you could have blue for baby girls or boys, but mostly we would use blue for a baby boy card, right? And I thought, let's have a think about how this should go. Now, I've got a piece of paper here. This is a standard card front, just slightly smaller than the standard card front size. But because I'm going to be using the alphabet party dies, sorry, let's grab them. They are one of my favorite dies that we have. Super, super nice. They come together with the party banners. All right, so you've got the party alphabet and the party banners. These are actually a bundle. Okay, I believe in Australia the bundle price is $218 for both sets of dies. Okay, but you can buy them just by themselves. So I'll show you the banners first. The banners are the cheaper part of the die set of the bundle, and you can see. Look how many banners there are. I love these. They start from the littlest one. All right, and you've got some little holes and things to put in them if you want to hang them up like as pennants or something like that. All right, little tiny one. Okay, you can see how small that is, all the way through to a really, really big one. All right, so this is the biggest one, and you can see how big that is. It's huge. Okay, one of my customers bought these two, the party alphabet and also the banners together as a bundle, because you get a 10% saving when you buy them both together, right? And she bought them and then made banners for her daughter's baby shower. So, which is super, super cool. They didn't know whether it was going to be a boy or a girl. So she did it in yellow and like a tan kind of a color. And it had like all little animals and things on it. Super, super cute. Okay. But she cut them from material, felt and hessian, or burlap, as the US girls say. And you don't have to just cut paper with dies. You can cut other materials as well. She cut all, and then she like tacked around the edges of the felt pieces, and it just looked amazing. It was fantastic. How big are the letters? Let me show you. All right, because the letters are the bit that we're going to use today, not the banners. But I just wanted to show you both because they do come as a bundle if you love them. All right, so I love these. All right, I've used them a lot, and they are pretty big. Okay, so we're going to be using the B. You can see it is, okay, if we're going to use inches, it's 2¼ inches high, or in centimeters, 5.7 or 8, yeah, about that. And that's how high they are. And width is it's about 1 5/8 roughly, or centimeters about 3.7, about that. All right, so that's B, A. Now it doesn't just have letters, it also has punctuation. There's only one B, so we'll have to cut that one twice. And then we'll need Y, which is here. All right, so they're the letters. I'm not doing rabbits, I'm just doing letters. So that's just what I want to do. There's also an ampersand. There's, exclamation marks and other funny little bits and pieces, dashes. Yeah, lots of cool stuff. That one needs to turn over. But I love them. I use them quite a bit. Now, to go on a standard card front like this, we would need to overlap our letters, because if I put them next to each other, the B is going to be there and then there won't be enough room for the Y. Now, I could pop them over, like have them overlapping each other, which would look quite nice. Okay, we can do that. But another alternative is to use a slimline card. Okay, so this is an example. I've got the word happy on here, which is 5 letters, and I've used a slimline card. So this is the width of a piece of A4 cardstock, which is 21 centimeters. Let me double check my measurement. 21 centimeters, so the full width. And then this width going that way is 18 centimeters. Okay, so 18 this way by the width of the cardstock, which is 21. Oh, look, it's got a bit of sun on it. It's faded it because I had it near the window. But anyway, that fits 5 letters, or we could comfortably fit 4 and then maybe do a bit of stamping or something like that, which would look really nice. Okay, so we get to choose whether or not, I'm just looking. No, I haven't seen Cherie tonight. She did send me something earlier this morning, so I know she's around, but I don't think she's here. She's got a lot going on at the moment, so I guess we missed her tonight. But you never know, she might join late or something like that. Does that answer your question about how big the letters are, Marilyn? Oh, Wendy, you've got a new baby in your family. How exciting. I just saw that comment. Congratulations to you. And would it be a boy baby that needs some beautiful blue papers? Let's color by adding some. So I've got some bits I've already. So this bit here, I can do the B. Now, if you want to cut 2 pieces at the same time, okay, which we absolutely can do. I'm going to think about which colors I want to have. All right, so we've got lots of options, but this is a nice, easy piece to do. And maybe I'll do this one on the other side. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to fold this over, and I'm going to cut 2 pieces of blue at the same time. So we're going to have one that's 2 B's. with the top layer and then the bottom layer. Okay, so we're going to have 2 different colored bees. And then what else would I like to have? I'm thinking, do we want to go darker? Do we want to go with a navy? I'm thinking maybe, because we used this one last time, and I'm thinking maybe, oh, actually maybe this side. So maybe the A on this one. I'll need to cut this down to put it through my cut and emboss machine, so I'll do that now. Just pop it in. If you're using your trimmer, you just pop it in so it's at the top, and you just line it up with this ledge that's here. That is exactly 6 inches, which means that is the width you need it to be to go through your cut and emboss machine. It's just a handy thing to know that that's the 6-inch mark. Okay, so we've got the A going here. We've got 2 B's here, and then a Y. Let's see, what would I like to have as the last one? Do I want this one, or do I want this one? Which one do you guys think? I know, it's so beautiful. I just love this paper. I'm so happy they gave us this first. I think it's a really nice way to start the product of the month. So yeah, Austin. So you can do lots of blues. That's cool, Wendy. All right. So did anyone have a choice about which one of these? If we got one in the dark, both of these have navy on them, so they're going to go quite nicely. This one has navy. This one doesn't. Maybe this one. Maybe. All right, let me chop that. Now put it in at the 6-inch mark and cut it. Let's have that one through, and this one through. And I'm just going to go that one. Good. I chose the right one then. All right. So I'm just going to quickly whip these through my cut and emboss machine, which won't take very long. So this is actually a very simple card, what I'm doing, but you can't really go wrong with something like this, I don't think. Well, I shouldn't say things like that, should I? Because if I go wrong, then I'll be proving myself wrong. And, well, you can go wrong, but I'm hoping I won't. All right, so I've done my A and my Y. I've just got to do my 2 B's. And I think these will look good on a white background. So that is my plan. And I try with alphabet dies. I should do it with all dies, let's be honest, but especially with alphabet dies, I am always careful to put them straight back when I'm done, because I do not want to lose them and have an incomplete set of letters. That would make me very sad. There we go. Yes, exactly. We don't want to waste it when we only have one pack. So let's see how it would look on one sheet. And I'm going to emboss whatever piece I use underneath. And then let's decide whether we want to have them here on this, all kind of on top of each other like I'm doing here. Or, so you can see baby would work quite well all pushed up like this. Or do we want to do a slimline card and spread them out a little bit? So I'm going to let you guys vote and tell me whether you want a slimline card that's this size, a wider card, or whether you want a narrower card. And this also would go on a piece of, there'll be a piece of Either balmy blue or I think balmy blue behind this. Any ideas, girls? Do we want to squish them up and overlap them? Which does look kind of cool. Now I've done it, I think it does look really nice. Or do we want... You think the narrower one? It would be sad to lose a letter. I know, right? It does look good, Sheila. I like this. But everyone's saying the narrower card. All right. Well, maybe, you know what, we could do both. What time is it? Have I got time to do both? Oh, not really. It's going to be one or the other, guys. Sorry. So let's go ahead. And I am going to grab a piece of balmy blue cardstock. I was going to do basic white, but I'm actually going to do balmy blue. Switching it up a little bit. By the way, while I think of it, those sparkle gems that I was just using, these ones, these were out of stock, but they're back in. So if you want them, you might want to grab them. So the full width, and I'm going to measure this at 18 centimeters long, which means you only get one out of a piece of A4 cardstock instead of the normal 2 that you would get. Okay, so this is the 21 centimeter width, and what I'm going to do here, actually, you know what, I'm going to score it. I don't very often score my cards, but I am going to at 9 centimeters. So right on that 9 centimeter mark, and we're going to use our scoring blade a couple of times up and down, and now we have our score line. Who uses their scorer a lot? I'm going to use my, whoop, I just bumped my camera. Sorry about that. Let me, I can hear Merlot snoring. He's a big snorer. All right, so now I'm going to do my my piece that's going to go inside this, and I'm deciding whether I want to have like an outside border. I think I do. All right, so I'm going to make this 8 centimeters this way. And I'm going to make this 20 across. So I'm a full centimeter down because I'm going to have a matte piece behind. So I'm going to get a piece of navy underneath that. If anyone wanted to use Misty Moonlight with these colors, you could, because tonally Misty Moonlight and Night of Navy also work together really well. And we're going to go 20 and a half. So this piece is going to go on top of that. Now I would like to emboss this. Here's something interesting. If I was doing it on this piece, and I didn't think this through, if I was doing it on this piece that we were thinking about using, I can put that through my cut and emboss machine and emboss it no problems. This piece is a bit trickier because it's longer than our longest embossing folder. Okay, so if I want to emboss this, I'm going to have to be a little bit creative. So let me think about how I want to do that. I mean, there's a number of things I can do. I can not emboss it and blend behind it instead. Maybe that's an option. But I'm thinking about having these across here, and an embossed background would look really good, wouldn't it? Actually, I'm going to put that one there. So because I've got that extra space, I can spread these out. And then I could add a flower or something here if I wanted to. You've got enough space to do that, or you could spread them out even more. And have it like that, which I think I will do in this case. Oh, you wanted the smaller card. Oh, did I misunderstand? When you said narrower, I thought you meant narrower this way. Whoops. So I gave everybody what they didn't want. Oh dear. I'm so sorry, everyone. Yeah, narrower or slim line. Oh, everybody wants this. Okay. All right, we're going to switch it around. But you can see what this would look like. It's very pretty, okay? So if ever you want to make a slimline card, now you've got the measurements to do that. And I might do that one later. But in the meantime, I'm going to do this one. And then I can emboss the background. All right, so we've got a couple of really nice. Would you like to see a new product? Let me see. I think I have here. Let me see if I do. Here on my desk earlier, I had the new Stripes embossing folder, which is from the new online exclusives. But I'm not going to use that tonight because it's not current yet. But this is what it looks like. Okay, it's got like little, can you see the dots on that? It's hard to see it. You can actually see it better on the actual folder. And here's the actual folder. Oop, that's the actual folder. Now can you see the dots? It's actually really nice. Keep going. All right. I'm keeping on going. And I'm going to get out my current favorite embossing folder, which is this one. I really like this. This is called, isn't it Beautiful Patterns or something like that? I think that's what it's called. And I'm just going to pop it in here and we're going to emboss that. I know it's really pretty. Very nice, isn't it, Sheila? All right, so when you use a 3D folder, you want to have your base plate and you need to use specialty plate number 4, which is this one. Let me show it to you. This one right here, specialty plate 4. And that's the one that goes through with your 3D embossing folders. And then, now, you might be able to see what I have done here is I've arranged these where I think they look the best. So I feel like this bee doesn't stand out quite as much, and it's because it's closer to the background color, but that's okay. So I'm going to put this one, the bee, straight onto the background. Yeah, the embossing's nice, isn't it, Judy? I agree. All right, so let's pop that right about there. And I'm going to go a little bit higher than the middle because the A is going to be a little bit lower. This one. So Tombo's really good for putting on shapes like this because you just very quickly apply it wherever it needs to go. That one there. Now this one and this one, I feel like they need to go over the top. Whoop, my bee's slightly crooked. Now that's nice because I can move it because Tombow is a liquid, so it takes a little bit for it to, well, that blue looks nice too, but I actually chose to go with the darker blue. All right, so let's add a couple of dimensionals. One here, one here. And then that one goes right there, so it's on top. And then this one, I think once again, up on dimensionals. So I'm going to pop some behind that. 1, 2. Right, that looks good. I like it. Now, do I want to put that on a darker background? I think I do. I like that, I think. So this one is going to be 10 centimeters by 14.3. Let's get that on there. Oh, hey, Katrina. Oh, don't worry. You know what? Some days just don't go to plan, do they? I know exactly what you mean. You know what? Life doesn't go to plan. Nothing really, you just can't control things. We all think we can, but control is totally an illusion. Anyone that thinks they can control stuff is in for a rude surprise. All right, I am going to do a blue base, I think, for this one. You could do white too. White would look good, but I'm going to go with blue because why not? And then I feel like I'll need a white insert inside to write on with this card because I'm using a colored base. And we're going to need some bling, definitely. I mean, it's a simple card, right? But how nice do all the patterns look together? We roll with the flow. Yeah, sometimes we roll better than others, Judy. I don't always roll 100% fantastically well. I do my best, but that's all we can do, right? That is the truth. All right, let me get that lined up. And let's add some bling to this. A little bit of ribbon on this, like some white twine or, a soft white ribbon would look really very, very pretty. But I think we're going to come back to our blue sparkly dots again because I just think these are lovely. One there. I'm going to have a little guy here. I'm just going to scatter a few of these around the place because I think they're nice. Maybe 3 is enough. I don't know. What do you think? Do we think 3 is enough or do we want more? The new upcoming ribbon would look fantastic. So we have 2 lots of ribbon right now. Now I've just ordered one ribbon, which is the blue sheer ribbon from the Lights of Aurora suite that's in the current mini catalogue. That is being discontinued. In fact, a lot of stuff. For those of you who haven't seen the last chance list that went live this week, there is a lot of stuff on the last chance list from that mini catalogue. A lot of the mini catalogue is going to be discontinued. So if you want anything in there, you might want to go check it because a lot of them are marked off a little bit. So last chance specials are always fantastic, but you definitely want to check it out if there are things in the mini catalogue that's something that you would like. The other thing is, as soon as you go over that $125 mark, you get to pick up this paper, this beautiful True Blue paper. It's called True Blue Florals, and it's available for $9. $9, guys, which is fantastic. But the new ribbon that was mentioned by Tanya is the blue. You're thinking about the blue gingham, okay, balmy blue gingham. That is also coming up in the new catalogue. And does anyone want to see something that I got? I haven't used it yet, but it just arrived today. And this is what I actually ordered to get my True Blue paper because the whole suite is $131. I think it's $131 or $150, $150 maybe. I'm not sure. It's this. The Cute as a Bug set. This is new, coming in January. You've got these little 3D ladybug stickers. How cool are those? Love them. You got this sweet bug set and the matching dies. And the matching dies, all these dies cut out stuff out of here. Look at this. So you've got the little caterpillar with the leaf, there he is right there. He will cut out that, okay? These are fantastic. I love them. I know there's a lot on Last Chance this time. They're really, really clearing house is what I would say. And then there's also this beautiful trim. What's this trim called? It's Old Olive, and it is called Specialty Rick Rack. And that goes with this bug set as well. Isn't that nice? Do you know what? For some reason, everyone's been really surprised. I think it's because of so much stuff on the Last Chance list from this catalogue, but this is no different to, we used to always have the discontinued or retired list. We used to call it the retired list at the end of every catalogue. That's what this is, Last Chance. And it feels like we just started this catalogue, but actually December, we're almost to the end of this catalogue. It's gone, this particular catalogue has gone so far. September, October, November, December, we're almost at the end. It's only a 4-month catalogue, the mini, and the same with the January one, January, February, March, April, and then that one comes to an end at the beginning of May. So same thing will happen with that. I don't know if it'll be as, I would say, carnage in the Last Chance list in this catalogue. However, it isn't any different to the fact that we've always had retired lists, and this is just, it's a different name now. It just feels like we have more product going than usual. So I know I love the Rick Rack too. You think so too, Helen? I think this is lovely. And once I knew that the dies cut out the paper images, it made me want it more. Okay, so there's paper, and look how nice the paper is. I love this one with the little bees and the strawberries and the blackberries. Or they're not raspberries. They're blackberries. So nice. And then we've got some geometric patterns on the other side there. We've got little toadstools. Ellen was saying the other day that it goes really well with the terrific toadstools stamp set as well. So if you have that one, and look at this. Isn't it? It looks like a picnic blanket. The whole thing reminds me of picnics with ants and stuff, right? Look at these. And you got little ladybugs sharing a strawberry together. This little bug here is looking at his little daisy. So cute. Love, love, love. Oh, there's another one here. This guy is providing shade for these two little guys. I just think these are super sweet. So if you have kids who are into bugs, or you want to do scrapbooking, I've got some photos of Ben when he went through a silkworm stage. Unfortunately, it ended up being the genocide of the silkworms. But apart from that, he went through this stage, and I was thinking I should pull those photos out and scrapbook them. And then we've got leaves on the back of this one. I know there's so many nice patterns, papers and things in this one. This one is the one I think you can cut nearly all those images out, which I think is fantastic. But you can stamp them too and colour them in. But I love that they're doing a lot more of this lately. Have you noticed this? So where we have panels and you can use these as card pieces, like card fronts and so forth. I just think that's fantastic. And on the back of that, you've got those leaves. So you're plagued with ants at the moment. Well, you don't need me reminding you, do you? I'm sorry about that, Sheila. We had to put out we had a lot of ants in our kitchen just a few weeks ago, and my husband put out a borax solution outside the back door, and the ants have gone. We don't have them anymore, so it worked. Yeah. So that was handy, and it didn't hardly cost anything either. We just went down to Bunnings or your hardware store and bought the stuff, and yeah. But I love these too. I think these are fun. Let's just look at those. Is it just the ladybugs under there? I think it is. Yeah, look, ladybugs and then clear dots, like dewdrops. These would be nice, like little dewdrops on the flowers and things, or leaves. Aren't they nice? You're doing that tomorrow. Good. Yeah, you'll feel better when you do. I don't like having ants inside the house. I know the year has flown by. It's a bit crazy, isn't it? A little bit crazy. But I do feel like I'm starting to wind down for the year. I can tell you something. I've decided that this month's craft along is going to be Tuesday the 30th of December. And I'm actually going to do that week, because it's a short week and we have New Year's and all that kind of stuff. That week I'm going to do my Tuesday I'm going to do craft along instead of my Technique Tuesday that week. So instead of doing Technique Tuesday and then craft along as well, I'm going to basically, I'll just have to make sure I do some sort of technique as part of craft along, and that way I'm covering both at the same time, right? They attacked your fudge. Well, that's no good. Yeah, they are they're not too thick. I agree. You could put them in a scrapbooking album and they wouldn't add any bulk. They're really rather good in that way. Or in an envelope. They're not going to add bulk to a card. But yeah, I just thought this was a really fun set. Not that I normally buy bug sets necessarily, but these were too cute not to get. I just thought they were really lovely. And I love that we've got, hello friend, love you lots, and spread joy. They're really, really sweet. You can color these ones in with blends or watercolor pencils or whatever you like. All right, you guys. Well, I'm done for the night. Let's have a very quick look at what we made. We made a baby card and we did a sketch card. I'll switch them around because that's the order I did them in, left to right. What do you think? Do we have a favorite tonight? Which card do we like tonight? Which one do you think was the card of your choice? I'm just having a very quick look. I've gone a bit longer tonight. Sorry about that, guys. But I better go off here in case my husband's trying to call me. I've got my phone on Do Not Disturb usually when I'm live so that my phone doesn't ring. So I better go and turn that off in case he needs me. It's a really nice suite. It's lovely, Sheila. You love them both? You don't have a favorite? The first one says Maureen. The first is your favorite too, Leslie. There you go. I just love the way all these blues work together. So what does everyone think of the product of the month? Do we have a consensus about, do people like it? Do you think it's a great thing to have? Do we like the colors in this one? I'd love to know what you think. And then we've got to say goodbye. Yes, Wendy, that's perfect when your paper arrives to try a baby card. Jennifer said baby. So that's interesting. Some people like one, some people like the other. So that means they're pretty even. Usually it goes, mostly towards one. You really like it, Helen? Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Yes, says Katrina. All right. Let me switch back to me for a second and then I'll say my goodbyes. Okay, so I hope everyone had fun tonight. I hope you all have a beautiful weekend. If you're on the eastern part of Australia, like I am, be safe tomorrow. Don't go out in the middle of the day because it's going to be hot, hot, hot. Today was close to, I think I saw it was like 34 degrees or something like that. Tomorrow's meant to be 36 or 37. So that's well and truly over 100 in the Fahrenheit scale. I think it's 103, 104 or something like that. So yeah, it's going to be really hot. So stay as cool as you can in the air conditioning if you possibly can. If you don't have an air conditioner, I tell you, when I didn't have an air conditioner back in the bad old days, I used to go to the shopping centre and just hang out there and have cool drinks and hang out in their air conditioning. If you don't have access to a pool or something like that, that's a good way to stay cool. All right, you guys, have a great weekend. I will see many of you on Monday morning for my live video that I do with my team every Monday morning. And for everyone else, I'll see you on Tuesday for Technique Tuesday. Have a great weekend, everyone. See you soon. Bye.